Alf, trouble in paradise. Is Panini completely screwed when it comes to sports cards? Now that they do not have the licenses for the major sports, will they continue on to make unlicensed product? I think that was the assumption by many, that Panini would continue on with unlicensed product, kind of like what we have seen for years and years. But the NFLPA, yes, the Players Association, has sued Leaf Trading Cards over unlicensed cards.
You have got to be kidding me!
Saying that you've got 6 or more players in a 12-month period where you are showing their names, their likeness, all that good stuff, and we don't like that. That is infringing, is what the lawsuit says. Now, Leaf is pushing back. They're not caving. They're going to push back and they're going to fight. This almost felt like just a matter of time before this happened. Once Fanatics Topps had agreements with both the NFL and the NFLPA, along with baseball and basketball licensing and players associations, you kind of got the feeling that the unlicensed product stuff was going to get a lot more heat. And here we are. The heat has arrived. Friends, speaking of heat, make sure you get a fiery hot discount off of your first submission over at PSA with the SCD25 code at the shipping and billing screen. Just a 1-card minimum to try out PSA. And Kronozio, you're trying to sell volume on eBay. You have no idea how you're going to list all these cards manually, one by one. Why do that when you can use Kronozio? They got a high-powered scanner as part of the package that can scan up to 1,000 cards in an hour. Fully integrates the shipping, the listings with eBay, easy peasy. Check out Kronozio's links and products down below. Super Bowl Saints promo code to get money off Kronozio products. In this case involving Leaf, I should probably have Brian Gray back on the show to talk through kind of the nuance of this. I know that he went down this road before with attorneys just trying to figure out what they can and cannot do. So I know Brian Gray knows a thing or two about the subject. So maybe it's time to have Brian back on the show to talk about this new lawsuit and what he thinks might transpire from it. This could have really wide-reaching effects. If the NFLPA wins and we don't have unlicensed sports product or very limited unlicensed sports product, it would shift a lot of what happens, I think, from a product perspective from these companies that do unlicensed product. For Leaf, I think they probably lean in a lot more on the pop culture side of things, which they've done. They've actually released some really cool pop culture products. My buddy Flipping Steve has bought some stuff where I'm just like, man, a Leaf? This is a Leaf product? It's incredible. They had the that recent set that was Polaroids. They're all one-of-ones, and they're signed by different musicians, actors, and different things. Look, that product is awesome. So Leaf has always got something up their sleeve. I like wildcard stuff too. I've got a special place in my heart for wildcard going all the way back, of course, to the early 90s, the wildcard stuff. I really like the designs on some of their new stuff. So look, I think these companies add value. I like the idea of having different options and having companies that are out there fighting for other licenses and things. Rittenhouse is another example of this. What's the other company? Cryptozoic just came out with a Jurassic Park set that looks really rad with on-card autographs. So the Cryptozoics, the Rittenhouses, the Leafs, the Wild Cards. I like that you have all these other companies that are out there just kind of getting their niche licenses and so forth. I think the one thing I want to know out of this lawsuit is, does Leaf have agreements with the players directly? Because that was one of the things that Paul Lesko pointed out in his analysis when looking at the lawsuit, was the NFLPA does say something to the effect that athletes have their own rights to be able to make kind of these individual deals. So does Leaf already have all these individual deals with players? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm sure that'll come out in the lawsuit if it gets to that point. We know with any of these lawsuits, it'll probably be years of squabbling in court. When you think about the Fanatics Panini lawsuit, how long has that lawsuit been going on? The antitrust stuff? That was such huge news. But then when you look at the timeline of that lawsuit, it's so long. And I actually remember going back in time and thinking like, man, this lawsuit is not going to be settled before Fanatics Topps owns the licenses to football and basketball. And here we are. This was years ago. I remember thinking too, Fanatics Topps is going to take over in 2026. That's so far in the future. And this was literally like 3 years ago. And here we are. Time has passed. Topps Chrome is back for football and basketball. When it comes to Panini, there's lots of chatter about the sale of Panini. We've seen articles come out about they've got, what, a $5 billion valuation on themselves, or maybe it's third party. But regardless, they are up for sale. There's something like 20 plus different suitors looking at Panini. This is an interesting company right now. If you're somebody that's coming in to buy Panini, and there might not be the ability to have even unlicensed sports products, because look, the reality is even though unlicensed sports products, they don't sell the same way that licensed do, of course, they still sell. They're still profitable for these manufacturing companies. From what I gather, I think that would be a blow to somebody that's looking to buy. But look, Panini's also done a pretty good job of going out and getting direct autograph deals with different folks. They've got a variety of different licenses. They've gone out and done some cool non-sport stuff like Minecraft. So Panini has the ability to kind of pivot here, but I guess that's the part that I'm really kind of waiting to see. Are they going to have new ownership? Are they going to pivot? How are they going to pivot? What are these other companies like Leaf and Wildcard going to do? Are they going to pivot, or are they going to continue kind of doing the same thing that they've been doing? The trading card space over the next few years is going to be really interesting to follow, especially when it comes to licensed and unlicensed sports card product. Friends, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is Panini absolutely screwed at this point, or do you think that they're going to come out the other end fine? Let me know your thoughts, friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.